to the D&D Morning Show. We're back at it with a brand new episode.
Coming at ya. We're here. She stole my we're back at it. So I had nothing to say.
Oh, really? Drew with nothing to say.
Ho, ho, ho.
Today we're talking about recovery, so we'll start out with a fun fact about Drew and his flexibility. Then we'll talk about the importance of recovery. We've actually got a product for you and a recipe, and of course we'll end off with a quote.
That's right. All directed towards the importance of recovery days.
So Drew, why don't you start off with the fun fact? Because it is about you.
My fun fact would be my lack of ability to be flexible.
And you know, it's funny because lots of people are surprised that Drew's not flexible because, you know, Drew's good at everything. But no, because he's so athletic, so then you expect the flexibility to be there as well. But it's not so uncommon for athletes, especially really good athletes, to be inflexible.
Yeah, it's something that athletes need to continually work on because they're always shortening their muscles. So athletes spend way more time shortening muscles than lengthening muscles. So unfortunately I fall into that same category.
I guess I'm not very athletic because I'm pretty flexible. But it's funny because often, well, not, I shouldn't say often, but occasionally is the word I was looking for. Occasionally Drew and I will take a yoga class together and I'm like in a forward fold, like all stretched out, touching my toes, head's tucked, and Drew's like, ooh, that feels good.
Dorothy's like Gumby. It's like a rubber band. I do try to stretch, but I think it's all about consistency. So I work on stretching and then I kind of forget about it. And then I'll go through like a few weeks or a couple months of stretching and then I'll just completely forget about it and stop. So, I mean, that's everything when it comes to nutrition and fitness and health and lifestyle. You have to be consistent, and if you're not, then you run into issues.
Mm-hmm. I think we kind of are getting into our main topic here as well, you know, talking about athletes and the importance of stretching, because every time we work out, every time we move, we are shortening our muscles, like Drew was saying. So the stretching helps us lengthen those muscles back out. So that's what we want to talk about, the importance of recovery days, and that's one thing, the stretching.
Yeah, that's right, and that's what it comes down to, is we really want to prevent injuries because we know how hard we work to get the results we're looking for, and then usually an injury comes up at some point, and most of the time that becomes an issue when we're inflexible. So as we were saying earlier, you're always shortening muscles when you're working out, and we need to lengthen those muscles to prevent injuries and just for overall well-being. I think we all know what it's like to go through a nice stretching session. Go through a nice stretching session and be like, oh my gosh, that feels amazing. Why don't we do it all the time?
Yeah, you just can move better, it feels better. I remember years ago when I was having some problems with flexibility in my hip flexor, I went to the physio and got some special physio stretches. And after, just the little things, the little movements like getting in and out of my car were so much easier after I was stretching and doing those flexibility exercises on a regular basis. So just everyday movements like bending over to pick something up, or sitting down and getting up, or getting in and out of the car. Those everyday movements become a lot easier when we stretch on a regular basis, and our flexibility is better.
Yeah, and that comes with functional movements and living a healthy lifestyle in general. So you want to be able to get out of your car. You want to be able to pick something up off the ground without being like, ugh. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. I think we accept that in our lives. We're like, oh, I'm just getting older, or I'm just becoming more inflexible as I age, and that's not so much the case. When we work with like 13-year-old athletes, for example, if they don't stretch, they're going to be inflexible too, and we see that all the time. So it doesn't matter what age you are or what level of fitness you're at, we need to stretch on a regular basis so we can be more flexible and move around in day-to-day life more easily.
And I think sometimes we don't take a recovery day so seriously, and it's actually the most important day because it's going to make your workouts easier as well, or more beneficial, because you'll be able to exercise more efficiently.
That's right.
If you are more flexible.
That's right. So get your stretch on for your recovery days.
I also want to touch on recovery days as well, and not only as stretching and flexibility, but as a mental recovery too. So taking time to rest, relax the mind with some, relaxation time, some meditation time, taking a detox bath, for example, to loosen up your muscles. So all of those things help contribute to your recovery days as well. All of those things we do for our mental health.
Yeah, we really need to take a time away, whether that's at the gym or at a park, wherever you're working out. We need a mental break from activity to do, and you can still be active. You can go swimming, or you can go take the dogs for a walk, continue to be active. But if you're working on high intensity types of exercises, then you really need a break mentally and physically. So give yourself a chance to relax a little bit, at least one day of the week.
That's right. So we wanted to highlight in our next segment a foam roller. So these are great for helping stretch out and lengthen super tight areas. For example, a big one is your IT band that runs from your hip all the way down to your knee. Lots of times that is super tight, so getting in there deeper with a foam roller will help as well.
Yeah, without question. That's something that we recommend doing every day. And it only take a few minutes. Like, grab a foam roller while you're watching TV or while you're watching a movie and roll out. It really only takes a few minutes, and it's going to be the best thing that you can possibly do for recovery and prevention of injuries.
That's right. I talked about a detox bath earlier in the show here, and we have a great recipe for a detox bath, which includes a half a cup of baking soda, a couple of drops of lavender.
Ooh, that's different. Get your lavender in.
Lavender essential oil, so a couple drops of those, and a couple tablespoons of Himalayan bath salts. Now, the Himalayan bath salts are great for detoxifying the body, so it helps loosen up those muscles, and it actually helps release the toxins that build up. It releases them out of our body. Now, when it's a detox bath, you want to make sure the temperature is slightly uncomfortably hot. You don't want to scold yourself, of course, but you want it to be, like I said, I don't know how another way to explain it is, but you want to make sure it's nice and hot because you want to sweat out the toxins from your body.
So that's how you can tell if it's hot enough, is if you're sweating when you get out of the bathtub. You should be sweating afterwards, and those are toxins that will continue to release after you get out of the bath.
So that's half a cup of baking soda, a couple drops of lavender essential oil, and a couple tablespoons of the Himalayan bath salts.
All right, nice little recipe we have.
Yeah.
How about a quote to end off with?
A quote. I'm going to look at the quote sheet here. So the quote to end off is, "If you stretch regularly and correctly, you will find that every movement you make becomes easier."
Yeah, without question. And that's something we talked about earlier, the importance of stretching on a regular basis so you can move easier and so you can feel better and so you can be healthier on a regular basis, and regular life becomes much easier.
That's right. That's a wrap.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to another edition of the D&D Morning Show.
Always a pleasure to have you join in, or tune in, I suppose. Tune in. We're so happy to have you guys listening in. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next show.
See you guys.
Bye.